The following program is for adult audiences only.
I don't know for how long I'll get to hold your hand, to be your guiding light in the darkest of nights. I will try to do my best until the day that I'll die. I won't lie, it's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down. I know that we will fight and be too proud to say the other one was right. And one day you will leave and start your own family. I will try to do my best until the day that I die. I won't lie, it's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. Don't you worry, I'm not going anywhere. I will stay here, and as long as my heart beats like a drum, then I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Time for another episode of the Flavorist Diary. This is the 8th episode so far, and for today, I was kind of thinking we just hang out and just mix a bunch of different flavors. I do have a package that we're going to open up today from Bull City Flavors. One of the flavors in that box is a flavor that I needed to order. It's the Cinnamon Danish Swirl Muffins V1, and that's because that's one of the ingredients that goes into the Cinnamon Danish Swirl Muffins. So we're going to open that up, and that's going to get put onto the shelf so that when the last of the 2 mils of liquid that's left in there, flavoring that's left in there, is gone, I can still keep on mixing that beautiful recipe. The other flavors are missing ingredients that I needed to mix up a couple of the recipes we already have saved. So I think we're going to mix at least 1, maybe 2 of those up, and then we'll do a random recipe today and cut the show off at 2 hours like we're supposed to do. Because, you know, if you actually want people to watch this stuff, you can't have it be 5, 6, 10 hours long. It's nice for the vlog and all, because we've got our long format. We do all that stuff there. But just for a mixing show, you know, can't make them too long. So I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and you got a beautiful weather coming ahead of you for this weekend. Some of us are going to get some major thunderstorms to roll through. I did see there was a tornado that struck out west, and we got some violent storms headed through Chicago. So, you know, part of the country is not going to be able to enjoy the weather, but, you know, you make the best with what you have and move forward. It's that simple. And, I do have a device that I got in. I got a package from SourceMore, and one of the things that we have from SourceMore is another dripper, so that, you know, when we do our single flavor testing, my ultimate goal is eventually to try and get it so that I've got all the exact same drippers there, and we can actually test every single flavor that we go through, or at least like when we do like, let's do all strawberries today. I want to be able to at least test the top 5 before I give my impression of, you know, which one of these is actually the best flavor. So we got this beautiful Tsunami, and it's not the first one. I've got another one of these here, and I got another one that's not even opened up sitting behind me. So that's going to be, I think, where we're going to start today. We'll just flip overhead and... Let's get this opened up. Fantastic. Geek Vape Tsunami Reborn ZRDA Atomizer. Hungry Hippo says, I love my Tsunami Reborn. Yeah, I really like the one that I've got, so let's get a couple more of them and use them as our flavor testers. I've got a couple of the drop solos that are really good, but I think the flavors are a little better on this one. Then again, this is a dual coil, whereas the drop solo 1.5 is single coil, if I remember correctly. Trying to get the studio cleaned up so trash is going straight in the bin when I have the opportunity to do that. What is it with all these barcodes? Everywhere you look, they gotta have barcodes plastered everywhere. What do you think? Boy, is that a nice soft pink. Clear drip tip. See, that'll work nicely. Classic Velocity style deck. And flathead screws is all you need. So we'll get this all prepped up. very nice. Did they include any coils with it? I got spare grub screws. We got a 510 pin. That's a squonk pin. And the grub screws Allen key or flathead? Oh, your spares are flathead as well. But you don't see any coils in there, so I guess we're going to have to use our standard coils we put in other stuff. Which is kind of a good thing because, you know, if you want to do comparisons between things, it definitely helps when the coils are the same, even if the tank is a little different. Yeah, airflow does make a difference to the flavor, but it's more important to have the same coil because you're going to be running it at the same amount of heat, and you can change the airflow to try and match them up between different drippers. So we're going to pull out our fused Claptons. It's an NI90 wrapped on NI80, 3mm inner diameter, and it's supposed to come out at 0.26. So we get 2 of those out. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one thing that's an oddity with this particular tank is if I put these coils in just like this, it's a flat spot on here and a flat spot on here. So they'll crush them. So what we need to do is a little prep ahead of time. We'll get the coiling rod out. Very good investment. I picked this up on Amazon. I think I got a 2-pack of them. It was only like $13 or something. But these are nylon pliers. And, you know, get to protect it from any damage. And we're just going to give it a little twist. So now that the flat side gets trapped when we put that into the tank. Very simple. We'll do that with both of the coils. Just like that. We'll elevate it a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Very nice.
Got me tiptoeing around you like you're made of glass. Got an invincible fence letting everyone know not to trespass. But you're bound to break down, bound to lose, bound to get knocked right out of your boots when I use.
Stay on camera there, Bucky.
You're playing it cool, bending all the rules.
Snip these off. And then a little trick that we can do is we can match up what we cut off. And pre-snip these. It looks like they're not the same size. This is the smaller of the two.
Got an invincible fan
You know, your eyes are going when you get older, and it makes it quite difficult to see what you're doing sometimes. That's the main reason I think I like to have the Allen head grub screws. So we got to push that one in a little. Give her a nice crank there. Make a little adjustment to it. .13 ohms. Very nice. Give her a little pulse at 40 watts. See if they glow the same. Make sure that the contacts are tight. That's better. Awesome. That's going to be very nice. Throw my little cuttings away. Uploaded a video finally yesterday for the recoil. Did a comparison for team single coil versus team dual coil. And we had some recoil wicking cotton to throw in there. Now this is amazing for a 3.5 millimeter coil, but the aglets are just too inconsistent and not small enough for a lot of the 3 millimeter coils that we had. Yeah, first one I grabbed proves me wrong. I tried 3 of them in the 3 millimeter coil that came with that thing, and it wouldn't fit through. Now these ones all work. So I guess we're going to use them today. Recoil wicking cotton, shoelace style. And it came with a coil cutting tool with no markings on it. It was really nice. Nice and long. Who joined us? Oh, Cheryl just typing. She was here earlier. Funky Monk, hello and welcome. And I'm gonna throw this back in the box. Use that for another one real quick. Cool. We'll just take our pointy tweezers and drop them down into the deck. And make sure it's nice and open underneath. And do the same thing on this side. Make them the same length on both sides. Then we'll pull that down around there. Down around there. Works great. All right, so what are we going to taste? What are we going to try today? Here's that recipe that we made up last week. Southern Banana Pudding V2. Give it a little knuckle test. Ooh, is that beautiful? The banana is now a forefront flavor. And I'm getting like a banana cream or a banana pudding. Wow, that's really delicious. Banana pudding. Southern banana pudding. Cool. Got a little dribble on this side. Very nice. I like how that locks into place. Let's get a mod to throw this on. The pulse. How's that red and pink? That's not too bad. I don't have any pink mods. Give her a nice little squeeze. Got to throw a battery in there. Yeah, that is really, really nice. Man, is that a really, really nice recipe? The knuckle test was sweeter than it is in the vape, but not by a whole lot. The banana is also a little more subdued, and it tastes more like banana bread with a creamy finish. Cool. Let me show you the recipe. All right, where is it? My recipes? Southern Banana Pudding V1. Oh, man, we made this Tuesday on the vlog. Yeah. That's what the knuckle taste tastes like. Knuckle test tastes like. And there's the simple recipe for it. LA Flavors Banana Cream at 2%. Banana Raw from VSO at 2%. Crispy Wafer at 1%. Super Sweet is at 0.5%. And we did use the actual Purelum Super Sweet in this one, not the one we made ourselves. And Flavorist Vanilla Pudding and SSA Whipped Cream. Very nice, very balanced, very delicious. And it gives you kind of like that soft Nilla wafer flavor to it, in addition to the banana. So I really like it, man. Flavors could be a little more punchy. But then again, you know, this is a brand new setup and a brand new coil. Just like sometimes when you make an e-liquid, you taste it and it's like, man, it's just not quite sweet enough. But if you actually are patient enough to not mess with it and continue to vape it through, by the time you get to the end of the first tank, you're starting to build up some of that gunk on your coils, and some of those flavors linger and remain. And like sweetness is one of them, especially with sucralose. Sucralose builds up on your coils quicker. And that's something I came to find out whenever I was doing my testing. I have the slurricane recipe. I made up one bottle with the sucralose, and I made another bottle with the Neotame, and I compensated the Neotame being 10 times stronger, so I only put a tenth of it in there compared to the sucralose. And now I've been sitting here for the past week putting it on the Mike Vape's Blaze Max RTA. That's the one that we sweetened with the Neotame. And then the other one here is the Blaze Pro Max RTA. Something very interesting about this one, I came to find out that this old Jabo mod is not exactly pushing the same wattage through that this Vandy Vape mod does. This one is set at 70 watts, and it's ideal for the tank and the coils that are in there. This one's set at 75, and it still feels not as strong as it is in the other tank. And because the Blaze Pro Max has the smaller honeycomb air holes as opposed to the original version that has the slots on it, I swapped the tanks because I figured maybe it's an airflow issue that I'm noticing it. Maybe the other one's got more airflow and that's why it tastes less. Well, I swapped it out and no, the airflow didn't matter. This one's set at 75 watts. It's the same dual 21700 batteries for both of them. And this just doesn't feel like it's pushing 75 watts. And then this one has set at 70 watts. It feels like it's more vapor, more flavorful as well. Regardless, there's no difference between the sweetness. Using sucralose and using Neotame, the only difference that I can find is that number one, and the primary one is, Neotame needs to be used at 10% of whatever you're putting in for sucralose. And I need to do another batch of the slurricane using either Purellum Super Sweet or Capella Super Sweet, and try and get it to balance. Like, I need to make 2 more bottles. I need to make one using, well, actually, no, I have the one here with sucralose. I want to find out what the sweetness difference is between the 10% sucralose and the Purellum sucralose, the Purellum Super Sweet. Is it 14% that they're using to make their sweetener? What's the percentage difference between the two that I'm going to have to carry forward with to continue using this sweetener that I've got? I don't have a problem, if I need to take, and whatever the recipe percentage is, like somebody's calling for 1% super sweet, if in my brain I always have to do 150% of it to swap out Purellum Super Sweet for 10% sucralose, then that's what I'll do from, this point forward once I figured out what that percentage actually is. But yeah, what a cost-saving measure for us. And I'm in the middle of processing the test to find out if the Neotame, because you're only putting 1/10 of it in there, prolongs the life of your coils. I suspect it does, because, why else would they keep putting it in all these disposables? Delicious. Yeah, so there's the recipe we mixed up, and we just got done finally tasting it, and man, I really like this on the new Tsunami Reborn. Delicious. And I guess I can finally show it off because, you know, the video's uploaded, but here's a Grim Green's Recoil. This is Team Single Coil version. Single 3.5 millimeter coil inside of there, as opposed to the original version, which has dual coils in it right now. I did have a single 3.5 millimeter coil in here. I took one of the 3 millimeter coils I had, used my coiling rod, and opened it up to be a 3.5 millimeter coil. And man, is the airflow fantastic in there. It's actually just a little more airflow than I normally use in like this tank. But when I opened the Team Single Coil up and saw that it came with the 3.5 millimeter coil, I just snickered. I'm like, that's exactly what this tank needs. And then I compared the two of them and I'm like, holy cow. And I took the chuff caps and moved them over. And it's like, the ideal flavor is when the airflow is literally right up against like 1 millimeter away from your coils. And that's exactly what Team Single Coil does. New atomizer, no. Shouldn't have changed the coil resistance. Put some fluid on there. I always forget because this one, I didn't put the squonk pin on. I just threw it on the Lost Vape. Cyborg. Holy cloud chucking, I love it. And the flavor just shines from this slurricane. The sweetness, the nuances, and all the flavorings that's in there is just freaking perfect. I don't think Grim can improve that at all. It's awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this package I got from Bull City, and we'll find out what the new flavors we got to play with in our little arsenal. As soon as I clean up my tools. Put my tweezers away. Put it in the cup, not next to the cup. I'll be looking for it later going, where did that go? Drop. I love having it organized and can just put stuff where they belong. All right, we'll just slide this on there. And then after the show, I can just toss that into the box under the desk for all the things that we've opened. Awesome. Where is it? Sorry if you guys missed the boat with their shipping prices going up, but you know, even UPS is charging surcharges depending on where you live. You might have to pay a $5 surcharge if you want something delivered in that particular area, compared to other areas where there is no surcharge. And actually, they have partnerships with the local post office to do the last mile delivery of packages you send. But yeah, I got bottles. I always order, 2 packs, which is the limit now of their bottles. And that's all most of this box is bottles. But I mean, it actually works out for them too, because if you're buying the bottles, they don't have to shove paper and bubble wrap and stuff inside their boxes. But there's the flavorings that we got to work with. All right, oatmeal cookie flavor. Neil Pitt submitted a recipe and it needed oatmeal cookies, so I had to pick that up. Vanilla bean gelato is also part of that oatmeal recipe. Milk chocolate flavor. Of all the different things, I've got chocolate flavors here, but I never had TFA's milk chocolate. I don't know why that never got ordered until now. Irish cream flavor. And last but not least, I told you, cinnamon Danish swirl flavor. And this is V1 because there is a V1 and a V2 of it. And as you can tell, this bottle just about empty. So cool. Throw them back up on the shelf. I'll make a label for this one and put it in my spare liquids because this is what we're going to do single flavor testing today. We're going to take a look at these ones. We're going to start with the milk chocolate, I suppose. I'm getting more of a smell of milk chocolate, and I'm surprised how weak that flavor is on the knuckle test. There's no astringency to this at all. And exhaling through my nose with that concentrated flavor on my tongue, I get like a chocolate milk smell, but it's very weak. The creamy characteristic and the chocolate milk-esque odor is accurate, but the flavor is just weak. I'm not even going to spend time on the show mixing up those little tester bottles. We'll just do knuckle tests here, unless we get something that is really fantastic, because we're going to be using these in that recipe. Irish cream. Ooh, that's got some astringency to it. Kind of like a Bailey's, but very weak on the cream part of the profile. That may be something that'll reveal itself as part of a steep. And it might be in combination with the VG. Matter of fact, let's do this. Because I'm curious how the sweetener is going to change that. This is just 2% of Purelum Super Sweet with VG and PG at 70-30. And put a drop in for a knuckle. So now I get to see what it tastes like. Ooh, yeah, the creamy characteristic did come through. Irish cream. Wow, that's really good. I like that. Nice. Vanilla bean gelato from TFA. Ooh, no. Ooh, yuck. Wow, is that sting on the tongue? Got numb tongue from it. That one definitely is potent and needs to be diluted down. And last of our new flavors is oatmeal cookie. Oh, I need some coffee. See what that tastes like. Well, my tongue isn't numb as much anymore. Yeah, and what I'm smelling now on the exhale is coffee with Irish creamer. Nice. Okay, last but not least, oatmeal cookie flavor. God, I hope this tastes like an oatmeal cookie. And I'm going to go straight to diluting this down a little bit with some super sweet and VG. Okay, I don't know if it's because of the Irish cream that's still on my tongue. I get oatmeal cookie-esque. I get oatmeal characteristics of it. But there's this funk there that is just like... I'm going to have to, do the proper single flavor test of it. And find out if this is actually proper. You know what that is? It tastes like raisin. Oatmeal raisin cookie. It's not just plain oatmeal. That's what that funk is. It's not funk, it's raisin. Wonder why they wouldn't have called it oatmeal raisin cookie if it's got raisin flavor as part of the flavor profile. I don't know. Let's go look at these recipes that I ordered these flavors for. Let's make something up. All right, what was it? It wasn't Lego My Eggo. That was after the fact. Crispy waffle, yeah. Maple bar, nope, it wasn't that one. Oatmeal cream cookie, that's the one. I was missing the oatmeal cookie and the Irish cream. And we got those flavors now, so we're going to mix this sucker up. Oh, man, awesome. Set at 10 mil. We'll edit this. And we'll make it 20 mils. And make it at a 3. And then we'll save it exactly as it is. There's the recipe. I need to get a bottle. Cool. What other flavors do I need for this? Wonder Flavors Bavarian Cream. All right. The Irish cream that we just got. Oatmeal cookie that we just got. Shortbread from SSA. Shortbread cookie as opposed to shortbread biscuit. Whipped cream. from the same, and whipped marshmallow silver line. Oh, cool. This is the first time I'm using that flavoring. What's it smell like? It's not marshmallowy, it's... Oh, what does that smell like? Meringue? Like a bowl of fresh meringue before you put it in the oven? That's what she smells like. Okay. We got our ingredients, and we can grab the super sweet. I just need a scale. Awesome. Start with our secret sauce. .62. Close enough. Bavarian cream is the first flavor. Gleisha, so hello and welcome. 0.1 grams. Six drops. Went over. Okay. Irish cream, 0.05. Three drops. No, 2 drops. Oatmeal cookie. .62. We'll get there eventually, folks. Sorry. One more. Very nice. All right, shortbread cookie from SSA. Been using that a couple times this past week. 0.05. 2 drops. Went over. Now we'll skip over super sweet. We'll go to whipped cream from SSA. 0.2. Whipped cream marshmallow silverline, 0.07. 2 drops. Go 3. Little bit of Purelum Super Sweet, 0.10. Awesome. How much PG? 4.39.
Won't be the same no more, I'm sure. It'll take a while 'cause I'm still sore, yeah, now. When you're gone, I know I still have a long way to walk.
14-day steep time for this recipe. And 17.6 grams of VG. 2 weeks we gotta wait for this. Awesome. Glisha said, I've made before 2 days some candy blueberry mix. It's nice, but I feel maybe it need a little more sweetener. That's the nice thing about when you're DIYing your own stuff. You first of all know your taste preferences better than people that just buy commercial juice and they're stuck with whatever they buy. You know whether you have a sweet tooth or not. The more you mix, the more you come to realize, man, I have to put sweetener in everything. Or I tend to put more sweetener in my recipes than what people have in theirs. Because, like, you make up a random recipe like this one, and then you go to taste it, and you're like, it's all right. It's not really happy. But if you add an extra drop or two of your sweetener into it, you might have a completely different impression. I have shortbread cookie, but rarely use it. The last time, I don't know, like it take too much to taste of other juices. Yeah, there's plenty of flavors out there that literally take over recipes. But sometimes you can use that as an advantage. If you've got other stuff that's really strong, you can make up a recipe using all your really strong flavors. And that changes over time. Like banana's one of those ones where you put it in there, you might be able to taste it on the first day. You come back the second day to taste it, and it's like the banana disappeared. And then you come back 7 days later, and all of a sudden the banana's there again, but it's more strong than it was when you first tasted it. Banana's one of those ones that likes to play hide and go seek. So before I forget, I need to make a label for this. Yum, yum, yum. And I'm just going to go with, let's open, since I'm not switching cartridges, open the right format, oatmeal cream cookie. And this is the Flavorist Diary, episode 8. TFD 8. And it's the 17th of April already. Oh my. My, how the time's flying right by. It was just Christmas yesterday. At least it feels like it sometimes. Yum. Would help if I turn the printer on. Very nice. I do really like this label printer and the fact that sometimes this stuff comes out very easily. There you go, man. All done. Oatmeal cream cookie. I should probably start putting on here not just the date, but how many days of steep time is recommended for the recipe. Because I've got like 6 of these on my desk right now. It'd be nice during the show, either the Flavorist Diary or the vlog, to pick it up and go, oh, that's a 14-day steep. When did I mix it? Oh, I just mixed that 7 days ago. I need to wait another week. And then put it off to the side. So we'll put this one clear out front where I can read the label. And we'll have to come back to that in 2 weeks. Let everybody know how it tastes. Did Neil leave any comments? I believe this was originally his recipe. Yep. That was Neil's recipe. And he hasn't put any comments down yet to see what he thought of it. He did comment on it during the last stream when we were talking. But I can't recall what it was. All right, cool. What other recipes do we have? Let's see. Lego My Ego, no. The Slurricane with the Neotame. SSA Fudge Milkshake should be sitting here. Yeah. SSA Fudge Milkshake V2 is the recipe. Is this a Dave Lloyd recipe? Yeah. There's his original recipe. Get the dripper. No, that's not SSA Fudge Milkshake. That's Raspberry Gummy Candy Advocate for Liberty recipe. We'll come back to that. There's the other Geek Vape Tsunami. Have I not tasted this one yet? This is raspberry gummy too. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's really nice on a knuckle test. We need a dripper. We need to taste this. SSA Fudge Milkshake. What do we got? I need that one for the review. What's this one? The Purge. Oh, is she hot? All right, we need some cotton. See what I mean about the aglets not being perfect? That one doesn't fit through there. Bummer. It's nice having really, really long wicking cotton, but that's a problem you run into. It's the reason why I like my little short ones. Never had an issue with them separating like that. All right. Even this out. Chuck it down in there. Probably spending too much time tinkering with this coil and airflow underneath it. This is drippers. We're literally dripping it right on the coils. The wicking shouldn't really matter much. All right, where are we at? 0.19. And that was a little tight, so let's lube up these O-rings. I think that would work a little bit better if the coils were higher. You got a row of air holes that are literally above the coils that aren't going to do anything. All right, doesn't matter. We're just trying to taste it for flavor. There's no stops on that one either. Ooh, is that tasty? It's supposed to be a fudge milkshake. It's a very delicious recipe, but I don't know if I would call it a fudge milkshake. I get the creamy sweet mouthfeel. I guess you can sell it as a milkshake. But there's no fudginess to it. There's no chocolate notes. It's like a thick milkshake without like a strong vanilla characteristic to it. Kind of like if you bought store brand ice cream. It was supposed to be vanilla, but can't really taste the vanilla. It's just a sweet cream. Very interesting. SSA fudge milkshake. Milkshake, yes. Fudge, not so much. But it is delicious. Yeah, I don't think the fact that the top row of airflow is being above that coil, so it's thinning down the vape, is making that much of a difference to the flavor. The flavor is punchy and sweet and tasty as it is. Like a better dripper would make it more intense, but I don't think that the better dripper would bring a chocolate or a fudge note to it that I can't taste yet. Cool. Let's pair these two together so that they're married, and we revisit it on the show and see how this flavor develops over the next week or two. See if it changes. See if that fudge or that chocolate characteristic to it shows up where it's absent today. Because I've had the recipes do that. Like I said, we just got done talking about how banana does that to me all the time. It doesn't matter what brand of banana I've used. It's one of those ones where when you make it, you can taste the banana there. It disappears for a while and then comes back. And sometimes it comes back with a vengeance, and sometimes it just comes back and is a nice mellow banana. SSA fudge milkshake. Total flavor percentage is 15.75%, which isn't actually that high. I mean, it may be high for what DIYers have been doing for a while, but, commercial juices are way higher than that. Like, I could get that you got chocolate sprinkles in there because they really don't have a chocolate flavor to it, but I don't get any of that chocolate around the outside of it. Which you wouldn't get if you were sipping it through a straw. It should smell like it. I don't think it does. Anyway, let's go back to our other recipes. What else we got? Chocolate covered bacon, no. Banana tropical cherry, no. Creamly chocolate bullshit. I think we mixed that one up. Banango orange smoothie. We mixed that up. That should be sitting here somewhere. Baja cream soda. What were these other flavors for? Vanilla bean gelato and milk chocolate. Oh, I hope I don't have to go through this one by one. If I can make the recipe, that means that I didn't order it for that recipe. Chocolate covered bacon. All right. That's what the milk chocolate was for. So we can mix this one up. I'm going to adapt this, make it a 20 ml. Hit save. And there's the recipe. All right, we'll start with Flavor Art Liquid Amber. This is a flavor that I haven't used, and people have not left very nice comments about it. It's a tobacco flavor, which is going to be odd for me because I normally don't do tobacco flavors. I'll be happy to try them, but it's not my cup of tea. Oh, Archimedes, I'm glad you got your package. That's wonderful. Cool. Wow, I can still smell that tobacco in my nose. I didn't even knuckle test it. I just smelled it. Lingering feeling. Tobacco. And we got milk chocolate. VSO bacon. Yeah. Big bottle of VSO bacon. I think I sent you guys some of these. All right. Milk chocolate from Flavora and milk chocolate. I got the TPA, so Flavora milk chocolate. Oh, I actually have two 10 ml bottles of this. Talk about dark. Look at that. That's probably the darkest flavor I have. Ooh, is that rich cocoa smell. Like you opened up a can of Hershey's cocoa powder to do some baking. That's what this Flavora milk chocolate smells like. So we got the TPA milk chocolate, we got the Flavora milk chocolate, some super sweet, and that's all there is to this recipe. 4.9% total flavoring. I think this is another Neil Pitts recipe. Yep. And we're going to make 20 mils of it, so I just need a bottle. There's an old Hungarian saying, when translated to English, it basically goes, use it in good health, Archimedes. Cool. We'll turn that on. Beautiful. Start with our secret sauce. This one is set up for 6%. I'll try to do it at 3, but okay, we'll do it at 6. So use our 1 ml syringe and we'll draw that up to 1. And then we'll go to 6. And supposed to be 1.2 grams on 1.6. There we go. Darren D, hello and welcome. Awesome to have you drop by. We're making chocolate-covered bacon. Neil Pitts gave me the recipe, and I just finally got some TFA milk chocolate here, so we're mixing that up today. And it starts with VSO bacon. Doesn't really smell like bacon. None of the fatty characteristics. Not smoky. Although it's hard to squeeze this 120 ml bottle. Don't think I'll ever use up 120 mils of bacon flavor. All right, we'll start with that one. 0.15. There's 3 drops. Got the 0.8. Or 5 drops. 6. And 1 more. I know that's going to go over. See? You just had to blow on it a little bit. All right. We're good. Now, liquid amber. Yeah, that's definitely a tobacco. Like you open up a bag of tobacco, not pipe tobacco, Like roll your own tobacco. Liquid amber. That's what she smelled like to me. 0.03. What are we, like 1 drop? Yeah, 1 drop. That's all she took. Milk chocolate from Flavora. See, look how dark that is. Holy cow. 0.11. 3 drops. Okay. Milk chocolate from TPA that we just got. 0.51. 2.5% of this. Very good. Now we need 3.96 of PG. Good enough. Oh, that chocolate is delicious. Wow. I'm excited for this one. 17.6 grams of VG. Little lover. Sorry. Give her a nice shake and do a little knuckle test. What's the steep time? I didn't mark it in there. Done. Chocolate covered bacon. He didn't give it a steep time. Interesting. Might as well print the label while we're here. Control C. Copy it onto the label maker. Print. Let's give her a little knuckle test. Is this gonna taste like chocolate covered bacon? Nope. I do get the cocoa flavor. It's not salty at all. Like, this is a recipe that begs for saline. Yeah, I know it gunks up your coils or whatever. But what other way can you give anything an actual salty flavor? I might actually have to pull that out and give that a try and put that in there. Add 1% saline to this recipe. Then again, it may vape completely different than it tastes. It's another possibility. There you go, man. Chocolate covered bacon. People are like, why would you vape bacon? Everybody loves bacon. Interesting he chose to use liquid amber in this recipe. I'm assuming that's to give it that smoky flavor that you would expect for cured bacon. We need another dripper. It's worthy of a taste. I think I'm gonna let this steep for a while. We'll come back to it. Doesn't taste bad. The tobacco's in there at an appropriate percentage where it's adding a depth to the flavor profile. Kind of disappointed not tasting the bacon. But you know what? There's only time is going to be able to tell what this is going to end up turning into. On the knuckle test, on a shake and vape, you're definitely getting a beautiful chocolate flavor. But there's other stuff in there that's kind of thin down, watery characteristic right now that may end up revealing itself later on. So we'll put that off to the side and don't have it near any tanks. I think I get it mixed up. I legit put it behind me. And then people, when they ask for it, they're like, what are you doing? What is that over there? Cool. All right, man. We've been mixing now for an hour and a half. All these recipes from the new flavors that I just got in. And I think it's time for us to roll the bumper and do a random recipe, a proper random recipe, just out of the blue, just for fun. So hit it. Jean-Philippe Carton, hello and welcome. Random recipe, what can we make today? It's very interesting. After doing a knuckle test of that chocolate-covered bacon that we just did, and during the bumper, I had a swig of my coffee, and man, did that change the flavor profile of my coffee. Like, it had totally accentuated that coffee flavor to it. It's like a dark roast coffee now. The combination of flavorings that were in that on the knuckle test and the actual flavor profile of the coffee with that Irish cream in there. My coffee now tastes like a dark roast coffee. Pick up from Sheetz. Gas station dark roast. All right, so what can we make today? What can we make? Pudding? Just a simple pudding? Got banana cream from TPA, Inawera biscuit at 0.5%, ice cream vanilla from SSA at 1, and vanilla pudding at 4. Wow, they're getting the same flavor profiles. We just mixed up a vanilla pudding. All right, moving on. War Pigs. We visited this one. This is a banana Foster, cheesecake, peanut butter, and vanilla custard. I believe we make that one recipe too. Where is it? Where is it? Banana War Pigs. I could have swore we mixed this on the show. I don't have it there. Where would it have gone? We got creamy coconut chocolate bullshit, gas cap from AFL, crispy monkey, and peanut banana. Where's War Pigs? That's all the flavors I got here. Did I throw it in one of the ladies' boxes? I don't know. It's not sitting here. Which is interesting because I like a good bananas Foster. It's been ages since I've had one. Cheesecake graham crust, peanut butter. Didn't really care for that one, but I didn't taste it with anything other than the recipe it was in, where it had both V1 and V2 of the peanut butter. Suggested steep time is 21 days. Yeah, maybe we didn't make that because even a three weeks is just too much for me. Here we go. We have Ursa's E-Liquids Caramel Frappuccino. It's got WS23 in it. The caramel coffee with sweet milk from Purellum is a decent coffee creamed coffee flavor. That's the primary dominant one at 8. Cinnamon sugar from Silverline at Capella I haven't used before. Maybe I should just make this without the cooling agent. Just get rid of it. I wouldn't expect that in a coffee flavor vape anyway. I mean, I do have my coffee vape here. My Taste Flex. It's got a cooling in it. You know, we can always add it in later. Let's just do that. Let's make this recipe and let's just ditch the cooling agent. Because I can always add it in later. Yeah. And this is a mouth to lung recipe, so I might actually have to pull out my Hell Vape mouth to lung tank again and throw this in there to actually flavor test it. And it's only got a 2-day steep. This is going to be cool because I can make it for the show today, let it steep over the weekend, and we can actually do a review of this on the vlog on Tuesday. And I can always add the cooling agent over the weekend in 2 days. It needs it to lift that profile. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Adapt this. Make 20 mils of this as well. And since it's going into a mouth to lung, we'll leave it at the 6. It's got Capella Super Sweet at 1/2, so we'll save this. Start with the Purellum caramel coffee with sweet milk. There she is. That's 30 ml bottle. Caramel from Flavor Art. It's been used once. Didn't have to crack open the bottle. Doesn't smell like caramel. Doesn't smell like burnt sugar at all. Okay. Cinnamon sugar from Silverline Capella. That's why we're making this. Never used this one. Just cracked it open now. Got an ethanol smell to it. No real smell that I can recognize other than that. So it's an alcohol-based flavor. It's all right. I guess I could knuckle test it. Cinnamon sugar. Add some super sweet to this. Ooh. Cinnamon sugar. It doesn't taste like the really good cinnamon. It tastes like dollar store cinnamon. You know, I could take and put to this with some toast flavor from Flavors. Make a cinnamon sugar toast. Maybe add a little chocolate to it. That might actually turn out to be a nice recipe. I like that flavor combination. Kind of a, if somebody took Nutella and spread it over top of cinnamon toast. That might actually taste really nice. Maybe if I used, not almond, what's the other one? Maybe some pecan pie flavor with it? Well, that would be an interesting combination. All right, anyway, Dolce de Leche from SSA. Haven't used this one either. Smells like the other Dolce de Leche, I remember. This is more caramel characteristic than the caramel flavor from Flavor Art. This is shaping up to be a really good recipe. All right. Got the ingredients. Let's modify the recipe. I'm going to edit this. I'm not even going to remove that. Because it's going to tag it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to remove it. I can, because it's going to tag where the recipe came from. So we'll save it like that. Ursa E-Liquids Caramel Frappuccino. New modified recipe, 20% flavor, 20%, 20 milliliters we're making, and 17.5% total flavoring. Looks good. Get another bottle out. Awesome recipes. I hope this show today inspires you guys to go and make a bunch of new stuff up and try some new recipes out you haven't. Or if you've got the flavorings and you don't want, and you're like hungry for a certain type of flavor profile, make your own recipe and give it a try. Might have to tinker for it a little bit, but you know, in an hour or two, you can take something that you had as just a simple thought or idea, and you can literally turn it into something delicious that may become your all-day vape next week. So we'll start off with this, put our secret sauce in. And since it's mouth to lung, we went with 6 milligrams. So I do need 1.24. Not overdo it this time. Okay. The mouth to lung, that's no problem. Start off with Flavor Art. Caramel. 0.2. 6 drops. Very nice. From Purellum, we have caramel coffee with sweet milk. 1.6. Cool. Man, does that smell delicious? This is definitely one of those ones where you could buy this flavor and just do a shake and vape of this. And then you can bend it to your will. Add more SSA whipped cream to it if you want more whipped cream flavor. Has just the right balance of cream and coffee. SSA Silverline. Cinnamon sugar flavor. 0.8. Archimedes, thank you for the amazing super chat. There's hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in this box. You're an angel. Aw, thank you. Yeah, well, it's all stuff that I had laying around here. Flavors that we mixed up as a random recipe I'm not going to try. I had extra flavors to send your way. I had VSO flavors that I bought on clearance. They were in a big liter bottle, like that bacon, VSO bacon. So, enjoy it. Hope you get good use out of it. And then I made each of the ladies a bottle of Neotame. The Neotame, I think I only sent them 10 ml bottle of it. But the Super Sweet, the Sucralose, 10%. I made each of them a 120 ml bottle of Super Sweet. So they won't have to buy Capella Super Sweet or Purellum if they don't want to. Okay, cool. Now we need some Dolce de Leche from SSA. 0.8 of that as well. This is shaping up to be a really nice recipe. Cool. Little super sweet. How much am I putting in? 0.5%? Yeah, I'm not going to grab the Capella one because it likes to gush out when you first do it. The challenge sometimes to get that exactly right. Whereas the Purellum's always been tight. You can measure. The drop is just sitting there and it's waiting for you to push it to actually go in. 0.11. See, I would have been way over with the Capella. As it is, it went over. Cool. PG. 1.35 grand. Very nice. Give it a nice blend. Smells good. Now some 17.6. Beautiful. when you get a flavor profile that, like, the more that you think about it, the more it's like, oh yeah, I definitely want that. I definitely want to be able to vape that. Because then you get your expectations so high, it's like you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna love this. Doesn't need cooling though. We skipped that part. I want to try this in the tank. I have to pull it out. It's probably sitting on the shelf over there. Get it clean, properly wicked up. And I do think that a 2-day steep is very accurate for this. Because that Purellum's been steeping in the bottle since they've originally mixed it up and decanted it. And the other things are just bending that flavor profile to add new nuances that doesn't exist in that original Purellum flavor. I'm trying to identify the cinnamon in it. I don't recognize that cinnamon as part of this characteristic, but I do believe that it's in there and adding a depth to this cappuccino that doesn't exist in the original Purellum flavor. It's creamier, it's richer, it's thicker. This is definitely a cappuccino and not a coffee. Wow. Awesome recipe. I'm so glad we did that. I think the pumpkin cannoli key lime pie and the slurricane that you gave out is out of this world. Cool. I'm glad you love it. That's fantastic. Yeah, the key lime pie is a really good one for mouth-to-lung or Podmon systems or AIOs because it's a nice high percentage one. And I love the slurricane. I mean, I'm going to make another bottle of this weekend because I literally plow through it. And like I said, I swapped it out for made it one with the 10% Neotame that we have and made one with the 10% Sucralose. This one isn't as sweet as the one made with the Purellum Super Sweet. So I need to up the percentage of the sweetener in these things. I did it with the Neotame because it only literally took a drop to double the sweetness in it. And even that is not quite enough yet. So I'm honestly thinking that it's 150%, or it's probably 14 or 15 milligrams of sucralose is what Purellum and Capella is. But there's other people that have mixed up 10% super sweet, 10% sucralose. Because when I went to ELR under the flavors that I had, I added that into my thing. So when I custom develop a recipe, I can use that as the sweetener and document it correctly. Because if you're using 10% sucralose and you use Purellum or Capella as a straight out substitute, it's going to be sickeningly sweet. So. My billet box with Wick Alpha loves that key lime pie. Oh yeah, that's a really good recipe. All right, let me make a label and then I'll show everybody that key lime pie recipe. Definitely one worth making if you like key lime pie. Wow, the description of the name is so long, I had to move MTL to a second line. There you go. And the nice thing is if you ladies like any of the stuff I sent you, the recipes are on ELR. You can get the ingredients and make your own, and that becomes your all-day vape, and cool. All right, that bottle's labeled. We're all set. Go to my recipes, and we'll go to key lime pie. Search. Where is it? Key lime pie, 30% flavoring, 15 milligram. There's the recipe. Right there. Just like that. Graham cracker clear at 8%. Key lime from TPA at 8%. New York cheesecake from Capella at 3%. Inawera Yes Sweet cheesecake at 8%. And 3% super sweet. Works delicious. And it's great for your mouth to lung tanks out there. And like I said, this was originally adapted from Dave Lloyd, I believe. Yep. There's the original recipe. So just search for key lime pie and you'll find Dave Lloyd, and there you go. High percentage. And you can make this anytime you want. 30% total flavoring in this. But you need it in a mouth to lung tank. Like I have this mouth to lung tank here. This is a stock coil Geek Vape Z Nano mouth to lung tank. And this sugar pie, I love Prussian Juice Company's sugar pie. Sweet Apple Sugar Baby is the name of the actual liquid, right? I truly, truly love this. In a big bottle at 6 milligram. And, you know, I put that inside of the Hell Vape or any of these other tanks I've got. And there's so many flavor nuances in there. You're questioning yourself, is it just apple? No, there's other things. There's blackberry, there's strawberry, there's so many different flavor nuances of that flavor profile that you can identify in there if you have a really good tank and a really good setup. So I'm like, okay, well, let me get myself a pod mod style setup and let's use that and put it in this mouth to lung tank. It's 30 milligram, perfect for mouth to lung. It's making plenty of clouds. But the flavor is just not strong enough, not punchy enough. And unfortunately, I mean, right now I got this coffee flavor in my mouth and this cappuccino we just made. It's not strong enough because there's not enough vapor being made to get you enough of the flavor. All I can really taste is apple. That's it. And it's not even that sweet. So that's just information you need to pick up. So like if you were making for pod mod style vaping, if you're making liquids for mouth to lung style vaping, and you're like making everybody else's random recipe and it's just not flavorful enough for you, you can try it in a dripper. And you can fall in love with it. But when you put it into a mouth to lung tank like this, it's going to fall flat because you don't have enough flavor. And that's easy to fix. It really is. Let me just pull up a different recipe of mine. Let's use Slurricane as an example, right? Hope if I spill it right. So let's adapt this recipe because this recipe is at 13% flavoring right now. It is absolutely amazing in a direct to lung. It might work in an all-in-one, but if you were to go mouth to lung or pod mod style, that 13% isn't going to be enough for you to get it as much enjoyment out of it as you can get in a dripper. So it's just a simple thing of let's adapt this. And we're going to do Slurricane Mouth to Lung, right, is the new name that we're going to do. We're going to save this just like that. And then you're going to go in here and you're going to adjust the total flavor percentage. Okay? Currently, we've got it at 13%. We're going to click this and we're going to go to 20% flavoring. And now it is completely reformulated the recipe to give you a total flavor percentage of 19.99%, 20%. Just like that. And if it's still not punchy enough, then you can adapt it again, adjust total flavor, go to 25% flavoring. And you can run into a problem like this where you go, oh, well, if I have 25% flavoring in there, then I have a negative value for our PG balance. It's no longer 70-30. Well, that's easy to fix. All you got to do is change the desired PG. Desired VG goes down, PG goes up, and now you can save this recipe. It's not 70-30 anymore. It's 69-31. But you're at 25% flavoring. And obviously the same thing would happen if you change the flavor total percentage of flavors to 30%. You can create beautiful mouth-to-lung liquids if you have a good direct-to-lung liquid. Just up the percentage. And you might need to compensate with a little more sweetness. Especially when you're talking about sucralose. Because sucralose builds up on your coils, and it's going to build up faster on a direct-to-lung tank than it ever would with a mouth-to-lung tank. Which means you'll kill your mouth-to-lung coils faster, but, you know, you have to adjust the flavor profile to satisfy your taste. But straight up adapting a recipe from mouth-to-lung is easy to do. And just like that, now we have a mouth-to-lung version for Slurricane. So I'm going to mix this one up, and that'll be another one I'm going to give a try in the Vape mouth-to-lung tank. I'm not typically a mouth-to-lung vapor, but, you know, I want to make sure that when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I figure out, you know, how much of an adjustment do you have to do? And I'm going to try this with a couple different recipes so that, you know, I get some experience. And then that way, if somebody asks me for a bottle of juice, I can adjust it for their vaping style. And that's the important part. Knowing, learning, expanding, and it just takes a little bit of time and experience, man. You know, just sitting here hanging out, making a bunch of random recipes, see what you like, see what you don't like. Try the flavors you have in your inventory before you just go invest hundreds upon hundreds of dollars getting more and more flavors. And you get the flavors and you taste it and you go, I don't really like this. But it's here. I'm not going to throw it away. I spent $1 on it, $1.50, $5, $10. You know, you can get use of it. Just takes a little time and experience. Beautiful Slurricane. But it falls flat if the sweetness isn't strong enough. That's the Neotame one. I know I bumped it up by putting another drop in there. I think I need to put another drop in there to get it close to where the other one is. So it might not actually be 10 times as strong as Sucralose. Might only be 7 times stronger than Sucralose. I don't know. I know I had a great time mixing today. The weather's supposed to be beautiful for most of the country out there. Some of us got some thunderstorms to deal with, but not all weekend. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be working on the wife's car. I got a new windshield wiper cowl because their old one's got some dry rotted rubber on it. I got a new rubber seal for the rear hatch. And I still need to continue investigating where the water's coming in. At this point, I'm afraid it might be the roof rack rail that I need to remove and find out where the water's coming in. But I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We did some beautiful mixing, and I think this will be the first show that's out actually 2 hours long. How many recipes we made up today? 3, 4, 5? I don't know. But I got some awesome flavors to try this weekend. So my wish is always, peace, love, and a hunky vape. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette smoking. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And I'll be back same time, same place next week. Enjoy your weekend. See you, bye.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week again for a fresh round.
You tell me with the 2 hands, I'm too bad. Wonder what your fans are like. Need me to get your bills paid. That's what you said. I guess I'm just too fake for that. So sick.